Welcome to DWI. We're back, y'all. We had to take a little sabbatical, but now we came back new and improved. New and improved. What are we doing? We ain't selling new products. We're gonna be off. We're gonna talk like this. Our mouth is gonna be moving, and the words are gonna be saying, "Phil, what, dude?
How dare you?"
Shredder." Okay. You fucking imbecile. Come here, Shredder. Okay. Let's see.
There we go.
Welcome to DWI.
Yeah. Welcome, motherfuckers.
Welcome back, bitches. We back. Welcome to DWI. Well, we are your hosts. That's Dude. That's Wax. I'm Illy. Hey, y'all. We're back. We had to take a little sabbatical, but, we had to get a couple of affairs in order, but we had to come back at you because we didn't want to stop any of the momentum. Fellas, let's get right into it.
Yeah.
There's something that happened out in Chester, PA. There's an escaped convict that's running around Chester, PA. He goes by the name of, Danilo Cavalcante or Calante.
Something like that.
Yeah, this dude, he broke out of jail. And how he broke out of jail is he shimmied up the wall.
It was cold how he did it, too.
Yeah, he used his hands and his feet.
Right.
And
if he wasn't a killer, I'd be proud of him, but he was a killer. So it's but it was some genius shit.
I mean, it was kind of elaborate the way he did it because it was out of camera view and he scaled up the wall using his hands and feet.
Facts.
Then he ran across the top of the roof. They said he went through razor wire. I don't know if razor wire is like it used to be, but I guess they're poorly making razor wire now because people are actually saying, "Oh man, it's just razor wire."
Right. They made it in Taiwan.
Yeah.
They don't make a good old American razor wire.
It was wet razor wire at that. So who knows what happens when you wet that razor wire down if it dulled out?
It turns into noodles.
It does.
Soft.
It was one of those things where he just slid out of jail and went past, they had a tower guard up there, and I'm guessing he could have been on his phone or,
probably.
Talking
tweeting.
to him. Right. Yeah, tweeting stuck at this bullshit ass job, this dead end job, while this cat was scaling a wall and feeding his jean jacket through chicken wire so he can slide through that shit.
He judo chopped him at the top, like Austin Powers. He was
judo chop.
On top of his head, and he was out cold.
Now here's the thing. They fired that guy. They fired him on Thursday. The shit happened on a Monday night.
Right.
He was up there watching. It was either football or catching up on some of his stories. I can guarantee you. This cat, while all of this is going on, he escapes. Now he's going through all kind of wooded area. I don't know if you're familiar with Chester, PA. I'm not. That's on the other side of PA. But they said it was in a wooded area. It was one of those type of areas where it's I guess a farming, a little farming area. Mm-hmm. And they had him spotted through all these people's cameras, their Nest cameras, and they had him on one of those deer cams. It's
like a trail cam.
Trail cam.
Yeah.
And so far, this brother's changed his appearance.
Right.
He shaved his beard and mustache combo off, and he's running around looking like a 12-year-old again. And and they say he's Brazilian.
What was he in jail for again?
They said he killed his ex-girlfriend back in 2021.
Right.
And he stabbed her with a knife.
Yeah.
A bunch of times. Now, like I said before, in order to kill somebody with a knife, I'm not saying that they got to deserve it. But at the same time, it's an intimate kill, Wax.
Right.
That's not one of those things.
Person.
Yeah, it's one of those things to where you kind of want to carry out the act of unaliving somebody.
Right.
When you use a knife. And he was on the run from Brazil for some stuff that happened back in 2017.
So he's just
a menace.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
A murdering menace.
Correct. So he's running around, jumping over chicken wire, knocking guards out, unaliving people.
Scaling walls like Miles Morales.
Now dig it. Once you get out of that whole scenario, that whole setup, the prison setup, and you flee and you find different stuff that you can use, you're kind of good to go.
Yeah.
I mean, this brother found a raising kit, like a razor and a shaver,
Right.
trimmed his hair up, stole a couple vehicles, and last thing they seen him in was, I think, a Ford Transit van. And for those of y'all that don't know at home, that's one of those big boxy vans. So at that point now, he looks like a mechanic.
Right.
So he's disguised as, and here's what I don't understand.
He's out somewhere picking tomatoes right now.
Putting them in the back of that van. Why didn't anybody call and report their vehicle stolen?
Yeah, somebody's without a car or a van, I mean.
Like they didn't wake up the next day knowing they had shit going on.
Right.
Now he's running around air dancing in somebody else's vehicle on the way back to Kuala Lumpur.
Right.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but black don't crack. Imagine how Brazilians are. That boy looks like he's 13 years old.
Right.
Like from the last, little snippet they had in the paper. This brother's 34 years old. He
shimmied that shit like he was 12.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit.
I mean, but you gotta understand, this cat was facing probably life, the death penalty, who knows?
Right.
And he's on the run right now.
Yeah, y'all be safe out there, man.
Yeah,
and
especially
Chester. My bad, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
no, go ahead.
I'm about to say, Chester officials, y'all better get on your job. You know what I mean?
They said they had the marshals out. Now, mind you, it don't take a rocket scientist to figure out, where Osama bin Laden was hiding at, and the other cat over there, Saddam Hussein.
Right.
They found both of them. Mm-hmm. This is just a regular cat from Brazil that escaped jail. Like, what?
In PA.
Yeah,
So
in PA. Like,
right.
he ain't got no sophisticated. He don't have a bunch of money, like, with somebody waiting on him with, like, like some medieval plans to take him out of here. And, he goes back to his country and he's hailed a king. He's a regular cat who's surviving off of cat food right now.
Right.
He's eating cat food and like dog biscuits, like underneath Mr. Watersheck's old 2013 Ford Fiesta. Like, I don't understand this. Like, does that say something about like the prison itself, or does that make the guy who escaped the clever cat?
A little bit of both. I guess they had a blind side. They didn't know where that where that little extra spot was that you could shimmy. I guess they didn't think nobody was gonna be slick enough to shimmy up the wall the way he did. But the way he did it was some cold shit. I can't lie. Like, it was some dope shit.
I about to say, man, and the way he was just like looking around, making sure nobody was paying attention to him.
He looked like he was getting ready to take a shit outside, like the way he was looking around.
Yeah.
Like, that look you give right before you about to take a piss or something outside. Like, that brother and cat walked up the damn.
Right.
Like, it's one of those things to where like who.
And we're gonna drop the link in the description. You know what I mean? Just let y'all check that out for yourselves.
It's wild.
And while y'all doing that, I'm gonna hit the like button, hit that subscribe. You know what I mean?
No doubt, it should be somewhere around there, over there, somewhere.
Right, so we can keep this thing coming.
Right.
We gonna get back to it. We had a little hiatus. You know what I'm saying? Life happens, but we back.
Definitely.
We back like a motherfucker.
And we want to keep bringing that positive energy. That's why we came out with this whole concept. The delivery with intent concept.
Right.
We do it with the intentions on making you guys just think about a couple extra things you might not have been thinking about.
Right.
Putting it into perspective. Speaking of blindside, because you said he blindsided them. Did y'all hear about the blindside, what's going on now? Like the whole Michael Orr situation?
Yeah, I heard about this.
Man, now listen. I don't know about y'all, but I'm talking about, look at me right now. I'm wearing our family colors, you dig it?
Right.
You know what I mean? Shout out to the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're gonna get into that a little bit later, but yeah, we gotta get into it. We gotta address the elephant in the room, dude, when you know it, man.
Yeah.
As bad as Wax don't wanna have this conversation, we gonna get to it in a minute. But The Blind Side, the Sandra Bullock movie, when that shit first came out, we all play ball.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things to where when you play football and you grow up in a football town, it resonates with you in a different way. You can understand it. It's almost like the military cats, like how they see all these movies, Platoon, Good Morning Vietnam, all of those things. They often, I'm sure, drift off to those times where they, were with their, their
The flashbacks and shit.
you know what I mean, their fellow soldiers or whatever that is. And when I seen the movie, it was so endearing. I'm like, holy shit, they did all that?
Right.
I mean, they bought the boy a bed. I mean, and this boy was sitting up there like he couldn't even read or write at the time. He's like, I never
talk.
had a bed before.
I never spoke those words.
Like, it was real rudimentary.
Right.
Like, I don't know how to do what you guys are doing.
What's that?
Breathe.
Right.
He's like, how am my chest moving up and down? Not how was my chest. How am my chest moving up? And like, it took us back like 400 years. Like, I don't know if they knew that. Now that I'm thinking about it, but it was so warm and endearing because they took this young cat from the inner city into their house, made him a home. Okay, and then sent him off to college to become one of the highest paid offensive linemen in the NFL at the time.
Okay.
And for those of you that don't know, it was Michael Orr. Do your research.
Right.
And
they won an Oscar. Sandra Bullock won an Oscar for it and everything.
And come to find out, dude, that was all a lie, man.
Right.
None of that happened.
Well, some of it happened, but
the fact that they linked up and shit, like the fact that they met at a Kentucky Fried Chicken while this young man was in line, like, we want to adopt him. Like, that was it.
And all I was is like the dude. I forget what he went to. William and Mary, I think, is the college he went to.
Okay.
And they were. Was it William?
Didn't he go to Ole Miss?
Yeah, Ole Miss, and one of them. Yeah, I think it was Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And that dude was an alumni and a donor to Ole Miss. So that was his whole scheme was to get this kid to go to Ole Miss and recruit him. So he was like, "Come on in, and we'll give you sandwiches every once in a while."
And tell you we like you a lot.
We will tell you that, but just give us the money. But then anyway, he ended up, and the kid was, he probably wasn't that bright. I mean, he was probably bright, but just ignorant to what was going on.
I was going to say
you can't be stupid to play in the NFL.
No, especially to go to college. Like, you have to like fit the
right.
You know what I mean?
The criteria. So
Exactly.
I'm not saying he was dumb. I'm saying he was just ignorant to,
He was
business
just ignorant to that situation.
Right. To business, and then so he was thinking he was getting adopted or whatever, but then he signed a conservatorship, which is that same shit that Britney Spears
I was
signed.
just about to ask you that. Wasn't that the same thing that Britney Spears signed with her parents? Now, these are her biological parents that did this.
Right.
Now, what does that conservatorship do? Does that obligate them to take care of you? Like, if he misses a couple of days of school, does a truancy officer come to their house?
Probably something like that. Like if like whatever business plans or whatever he has to do, they get like first dibs, or they can tell him no or some shit like that.
That's a terrible deal.
Terrible.
I mean,
but I don't know how much they flexed it. I don't know if they did it like Britney Spears' dad, because he was like, get on stage and get off stage. He was
now.
Yeah, he was
She's
on
like,
her
man,
shit.
I'm sick now. She's like, I'm going.
But I don't know how to the depths of what they did. But like, as far as like the money they made off the movie, he didn't get none.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Because I'll be honest, I remember when it came out, you know what I mean? But I never actually watched the movie because it just seemed like some Hollywood garbage.
Right. White savior shit.
Yeah, plus he played for the Ravens, so I already wasn't banging. Yeah, I wasn't banging with him anyway, so.
Well, let me ask you this. We write a story about your life.
Right.
Call it BF Living.
Okay.
And you blow up somehow, but not off that movie. Do you want your coins?
Of course.
Your shillings coming to you from them writing pretty much not an autobiography, but like a story on your life?
Yeah, and then making a movie about it? Yeah, I need mine.
Of course.
I need mine.
Winning an Oscar, and you know what I mean? Like, how much money you get from that kind of stuff? And then they wrote books.
Right.
They wrote books on everything, and
I can see it now, living with Michael. Like, they probably had him like, and then when I went in there a couple times, Michael had it smelling like pig feet and chitlins in there. Like, what?
We teached him how to wipe his butt good.
They had a bidet in there, like so. That's how they made sure that he
Right.
was.
They act like they taught him how to play football, but he was already like one of the top recruits in the country.
Yeah, he was already on his way.
Right. So
You
it
know?
was just shady. It was shady shit.
I mean, like, so this conservatorship, does it like limit how much cash he gets, like from his like?
It can. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not sure like the depths of how theirs was, but
Yeah.
But as far as that, that's why he's suing. He's suing to get that because he's still on it. Like once you sign that shit, it's forever until the judge says it's irrelevant.
So what happens if he dies? Does the conservatorship go to the kids and they're like, Michael, get your ass back out there and get to the NFL?
To them, they get a piece of that shit. I don't know. Like
Can
I don't know.
you will conservatorship? That's what I'm asking. Can you like pass it down?
No, you gotta go. No, you can only get it when you're living.
I'm just wondering.
Like,
I don't know how that shit works.
Yeah, it's just like somebody like they say you're not fit to take care of yourself, and you sign the contract, and now you're pretty much my legal guardian, even though I'm a grown ass person and shit.
That makes me feel a little bit weird hearing that.
Man, that's crazy.
When he signed it, does he look at him like, Michael, we own your ass?
Pretty much.
Like, what?
Pretty much.
That's foul, man.
That's like rights to like some shit that you can't have rights to. Like that's
Right.
like mineral rights,
Right.
if you will.
That's
Now,
rights to my life.
Buying a house is one thing, but when you have the mineral rights, that's like everything underneath.
Yeah, that's
So like they bought the mineral rights to Michael Moore's life.
that's
Right.
cold, man. That's cold.
Bro, that's amazing. And didn't give him a dime for it. Like, oh, he got that NFL money.
Right.
Holly,
So, like, I need some of that extra.
Right,
I need
like
some extra cheese on my pizza.
like I'm good to go. Like, oh hell no, man. Like Michael, we got $622 million for you. Like, man, I got $33 million now. What am I gonna do with an extra 600?
Right.
Like that's crazy, bro. So I mean, shout out to Michael Ward. You know what I mean? Even though he played for the Ravens, I mean, it was a fantastic story. So I'm not even going to front and act like I didn't like the story, which in turn made me admire that portion of it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It was still like at the Baltimore Ravens.
Right.
As far as that, on
Because, I mean,
sports.
they probably still did some good stuff. You know what I mean? They still took him in their house.
I mean, but come on, man.
But I'm not saying
That's
that
like
this,
me wanting credit for giving you a glass of water. Like, I mean, I did give you that glass of water, though. I mean, like, and it was cold. Like, what, I'm supposed to give you hot water or something like that?
If I was dying of thirst, that shit would mean something.
I get it, but he wasn't dying of thirst. Like, they bumped into each other. Like, ooh, I'm sorry.
He had a whole
you want
jug.
to come live with us?
He had a whole jug of water on his side.
Right.
Like, here's just extra water.
Right.
Now give us your water. Like, what the hell? All I got is a glass. You get my whole gallon.
That's one of those things that was a double-edged sword. Like, you meet people, you expect them to be 100% with you.
Right.
If you're 100%, give me what I'm due.
Right.
If that movie's about me, I want my money.
Right.
And it's not that I should even have to ask for it. It's about me.
That's the principle.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
People forget what the principle consists of.
Right.
It consists of the fact that that is what it is. It's simply, it is what it is. So if I say I'm going to do something for you and I don't do it, that's the accountability to where it's like, dang, man, now I'm disappointed. Now the relationship kind of got a strain on it because you're mad at me for what I said I was going to do. Not to say that I didn't come through 99 times before that time, but it's the one time that I didn't. So, like, take it for what it's worth. Like I said, shout out to Michael Ward. I hope he gets his money.
Right.
But,
or at least gets them off his back.
Right.
That's crazy.
That's the situation there. I don't want to see myself in that scenario. It's kind of like the music industry, how, the owners of certain labels, they own your music for however many years, which we'll get into that later.
Royalties and stuff.
Correct.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all this. How do y'all feel about today? And I'm not talking about today being Sunday. I'm talking about today's festivities. Pittsburgh played San Francisco today, and it was our season opener at the crib, and it didn't go too well. Hey, Wax, I'm going to start off with you. What's your thoughts on today's performance?
I wasn't happy with it, man.
Yeah.
Like, watching the preseason games, I thought we was going to be a lot better than what we showed today.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like I also didn't factor in the fact that like other teams that we played were resting all their starters for the most part, and we had ours out there trying to get some burn. And you know, it just seemed like we were going to be all right this year. I mean, we still could be, and I think we might even go to the playoffs. But you know, it was like a rude awakening for our first home opener. You know, what y'all think? Like, what did you think about our defense?
I felt like our defense didn't hold up.
Yeah,
at all. Yeah.
You know, like football is won on a strategic level. It's not like any other sport. It's not like basketball to where if I, you know, get the rebound and throw it down court and we get as many. Basketball's built off a principle of transition.
Okay.
Transition points.
Right.
If I can outscore you, and that's in any game. You know, I don't want to take it that philosophical, but it's a game of strategy. You know, I have to put every single player in place, and I don't feel like the players that were in place fit the bill.
Yeah.
You know, we had a couple injuries, like you were saying, preseason wise, where we shined. Then comes today, a lot of guys, you know, they either didn't show up, or some were lacklustrous, or some even played to the point where they got hurt in a non-winning effort. It was all in a losing effort, and we lost in untraditional fashion.
Yeah, we got, and I love Coach T, but we got out coached today.
And outplayed.
We got outplayed and like both. Like it was an ass whooping in every form of the way, form of fashion.
Now, heavy is the head that wears the crown, but I know you can't wait to dig in. So go ahead and take the gloves off.
We got out coached, especially on offense, by that damn Matt Canada sucks.
Why do you feel that way?
Because he just runs stupid plays. He just ruins a drive. That and Kenny Pickett looked like he was shook as fuck out there. I was nervous about Kenny. I'm like, bro, you look good. You look confident out there in the preseason, man. But when it came to this game, bro, he was out there looking like he didn't know what to do.
It was almost like he knew he was fighting fixed fights in the preseason.
Right.
And he's never went up against a strong West Coast offense
they got a good defense, man. They got a really good defense.
They really do. They really do. I mean,
it was all over us, and we couldn't run the ball. We couldn't get. I mean, that's another thing that really hurt us. We couldn't run the ball.
Right, and that's a lot of our offense.
Yeah,
that's 60%
over the last
do.
couple of years. That's what we've been doing, and like Najee couldn't get nothing.
So let me ask you this, dude: do you feel like Canada's drawing up the wrong shit for us as far as scheme wise?
I do, because they got decent weapons, but the play calling is high school level shit, like jet sweeps and shit. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Do you remember at the beginning of the season? Dude vowed to give him another chance.
Yeah,
you remember that?
And he did. He did.
I gave him one game.
How many games?
We got a one-game chance.
The home opener.
After this, I know, like, you're trash. Even if we ended up getting better, like, he's still trashed me because this was a big game, and, like, we had -2 yards up until the last drive of the first quarter. Right. Or the second quarter. The first half. Like, we had -2 yards.
Right.
Like, come on, bro. That's the players didn't hold up their end of the bargain, but just a good couple of play calls can get you 30 or 40.
Right. We didn't even have a first down at one point. In
right.
The game.
Until the last drive.
Right. I was like, this is crazy, man. Like, this is insane. Like we played like garbage today. We played like we haven't been
priming and prepping for this moment.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I was a little bit disappointed, but like also you can't take anything away from the 49ers.
No, not at all.
Like we were just saying, they're nice.
They got weapons.
Yeah,
and then adding
nice.
like what they did in the offseason as far as picking up the boy Bosa.
Yeah, man.
That dude right there, he impressed the hell out of me as far as like just seeing what he can do, because like going into it, I'm not one of them type of people. Now, it's gonna be, like I said, it's gonna be a double-edged sword. I would insist that certain players do make or break a team, but when I heard that he was, going to the Niners and we were playing him first, it didn't scare me.
He's already been at the Niners.
No,
he's already been there, but they just signed him.
I'm sorry. I'm tripping. When they gave him that money,
right?
When they gave him the money.
But he balled out. TJ balled out too.
Yeah.
TJ had 3 sacks, two forced fumbles, but can only do so much when the fucking middle of the field is wide open.
Yeah, like our secondary was getting toasted, and it wasn't
and the
even
middle
like
linebackers.
Yeah,
the middle of the field was just
everybody
for running. Like
open.
McCaffrey was killing us up the middle.
I thought McCaffrey was on his last leg, man. To be honest,
not today.
Yeah, he looked like he was a young McCaffrey.
Yeah, he looked official.
Now, let me ask you this, Wax. As far as a whole, what do you predict us being? I don't know. I'll say week 7.
Week 7, probably 3 and 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, like
it was a reality check for you today, wasn't it?
It was, but I think we'll turn it around in the second part of the season. You know what I mean? Like when it's time to go, I think we'll turn it on. But like we got to do something fast.
Do you think we're gonna be playoff bound?
Yeah, I do. I think we might make the playoffs.
How about you, dude?
I did at first. I don't know now. Now I'm like on the fence.
Get nervous about
I know.
that.
I'm sorry.
That's not even. That don't even sound like you.
Listen, I drank too much of the Kool-Aid. My stomach hurts now. Like I drank way too much.
It said Jimmy.
I put money on us going to the Super Bowl, like a little bit of money, but But damn it,
you was like that dude off of Back to the Future too. Go back in time. Put a little money on the Cubbies.
Right.
Put a little money on the Cubbies.
Cubbies, yeah.
But yeah, like so now I guess I don't know. It's hard because I can't see us coming out looking that bad again. But we got Cleveland next week, and Cleveland just beat Cincinnati.
Yeah.
First of all, you said Cleveland wrong.
Cleveland.
You damn right. You better take that
Cleveland
V out of there. For all y'all that's listening, shout out to everybody that pretty much is in the surrounding area of Cleveland. I can't shout y'all out because y'all's on the menu. But we got to address y'all properly and leave that V out because we say Cleveland. But go ahead, man.
Yeah, but we got them, and they just beat Joe Burrow and them. They held Joe Burrow to like 80 yards passing.
That's the team that I worry about. Cleveland is that team to where on paper they have everybody in place. Nick Chubb, your boy Chubb, that dude is a menace.
A beast.
He's a menace, and he has the line to prove it.
Mm-hmm. And then you go on defense, and they got the line to prove it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think we'll get a dub next week.
We play them twice though.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
We play them 2 times.
We play them,
Next
the
week
Ravens, and Cincinnati twice.
And
those are always rival games.
I think I don't know if it's Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football next week. It's a night game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Let me ask you this: as far as our season's concerned, do you feel like we got the hardest schedule?
No. I think we got an easy schedule.
I'm saying as far as in like the whole grand scheme of things in the NFL, like out of the NFC and the AFC.
No, I think we got a pretty decent schedule other than our division. Our divisions are our hardest games.
That's what I'm asking. Do you think
Well,
that it's a hard division to play in? Do you think we playing the hardest division as far as talent wise?
I do.
Now they got teams like Detroit, Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
I hate saying this because Dallas, they're always in that race. New York, those guys are always doing things to put themselves in place. Don't forget Philadelphia.
Philly,
especially. NFC.
Yeah. Them guys are like in position right now to take over the whole NFL as far as talent-wise. Look at what Detroit did. Now, granted, it was preseason, but that I feel like it was a taste.
It wasn't preseason.
Yeah,
it was regular.
No, it was a regular season, but I feel like it was a taste of what is soon to happen with Detroit as a franchise.
I don't know. See, me, I'm kind of on the other side. I think it's a taste of what's happening to Kansas City on how they don't have nobody to throw the ball to.
I mean, Kansas City can go 15-1 or 16-1.
They could, but like they don't have nobody to throw the ball to.
Not
and
yet,
because Patrick Mahomes was on the fucking money, but niggas was dropping that shit. So you can only do what you got. So I don't know, and and that's the thing though. When you got a top tier quarterback, you can't pay everybody. That's why they had to let Tyreek Hill go, and then Kelsey's hurt. So I don't know how long he's going to be hurt, but if he's hurt, they're in trouble. If he's hurt, they're in trouble.
About you, Wax?
Yeah,
you feel like we got like one of the hardest schedules out of the whole NFL, like AFC and NFC.
I think we have
like a rough schedule facing those 3 teams twice.
That's a hard. I feel like we have a hard schedule in the NFC. You know what I mean? Because like we're not going against like some of the West Coast bombers. But like the NFC is pretty much like the meat and potatoes of the
NFL.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because like we always produce like somebody who's going deep into the playoffs.
Right.
Like the AFC.
I said the NFC, but the AFC.
Y'all act like the NFC is the shit, and I'm like the NFC is
but they're making
trash.
a comeback, bro.
No, they're not. The AFC is dog shit. Is killing them niggas.
When have you ever been worried about Detroit?
We ain't talking about when have I ever. We're talking about the AFC right now. The quarterbacks in the AFC.
Yeah.
7 of them are better than every single quarterback over there in the NFC.
You're tripping now. Now you're tripping.
Name me a quarterback better than name me a quarterback better than Patrick Mahomes in the NFC. None. Don't even say none. Name me a quarterback better than Joe Burrow in the NFC. There is none. Name me a quarterback better than Josh Allen in the NFC.
I'm not.
There ain't none.
Listen,
name me a quarterback better than Lamar Jackson in the NFC. There ain't none. Name me a quarterback.
Okay,
better.
We get your point. Y'all get it out there. Now that's later to be seen. I got some cousins in the D. Y'all hear that out there? He's coming for y'all. Him by himself. He lives at 445 Rutler Road. Get his ass.
Jared Goff ain't that guy.
I get it. I mean, I'm not disputing quarterback wise because it takes a whole 11 out there, dude.
And they got teams to match with them.
I agree.
Squads.
I agree, my brother.
You got Aaron Rodgers with a monster defense over there in New York.
That's as of right now. That's when he made that connection over to the Jets, which
that's what we talking about.
He doesn't scare me.
No, but I mean he's better than Dak Prescott.
Y'all hear that out there, Cowboys?
Aaron Rodgers ain't better than Dak Prescott. Aaron Rodgers could die tonight and be better than Dak Prescott.
He's always going to be better than Dak. Like, no matter what. It's
you
just
boys
the
rough.
It's the facts.
It's just the truth. Only one I would say that's up there over there is old boy with Philly.
I was just about to, y'all acting like the young boy ain't earned
He's
his
nice.
keep.
He's nice.
And he got his bag.
But that's it.
What's his name?
Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. That's it.
You know, I'm going to have my brother Ian watching this like, what the... You know, he gonna be up there ripping his pillow. He's a Philly fan.
Okay, so that's nice. Philly nice.
Shout out to the baby of the bunch. He does, man. Listen, I feel the same way. You know, the AFC, they have a group of juggernauts. You know, that's what we represent.
Right.
But as far as the NFL as a whole, those teams that we thought that was forgotten about, they're making a comeback, bro.
Yeah, there's always a few teams that pop in there that you don't think.
Detroit
I was hoping we was gonna be that.
Ooh.
I was hoping we was going to be there. We'll see.
I mean, we played the 49ers. They won a game before the Super Bowl, man. And you know what I mean?
And I mean, shit, Brock Purdy is looking like fucking Tom Brady and shit.
Listen, here you go. Now, I let you
At
go with
least
the
today.
whole quarterback riff. I let you flip out, point that meaty-ass meat cliff off my damn table, get ready to break my table in half, going through all them damn quarterbacks you spouted out. But don't go saying that shit about the GOAT. Okay, shout out to Michigan Wolverines for producing such a fucking juggernaut. Even though he's, on the menu half the time.
Say that shit, please.
Right. We're 2-0 right now, just like y'all, so I don't want to hear that shit, man. I don't want to hear that shit.
We'll see. Give it a couple of months.
Yeah, we will see. We won, 13-1 last year. Something like that, 12-1 last year.
Did y'all win the ship?
We did not win the ship.
Okay.
But y'all wasn't even sniffing around the boat. But so I want to hear that shit.
Like, sooner than y'all did. Y'all went to the big game and crashed the bed.
In Florida. Florida State.
Let's
go.
go.
Get it right. You got to put that state on there.
Nose. I'm about to say, though, speaking of college, what about Coach Prime in Colorado?
Yo, Coach Prime got them boys lit.
I love to
I
see
think
it.
you was telling me earlier, man. Them boys was what, like something in one last year.
1 and 10.
1 and 10.
They was trash last year. He came in and was like the press conference that he had was hilarious though. Well, it was like not the press conference, but the meeting with the team. He was like, "Look, most of y'all ain't gonna be here next year. So go ahead and hit that portal." I'm like, "Wow." Yeah. So they was in there looking shook. Like
he was like, "Man, I'm bringing luggage to this thing, and it's Louis."
Right.
Like, so if you're not on the same level as Louis Vuitton I'll see y'all next year somewhere else.
So did he go into the locker room and say this? Like motherfuckers was in there taking a shit?
It was like the team meeting.
He was like, hold on, coach. I'll be out in a minute. No, don't worry. Listen, can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
They're going to wipe your ass and get on out of here.
You ain't even got to wipe your ass. You can leave shitty ass for all I care. But listen, half y'all ain't going to be, matter of fact, 3/4. Everybody that's on this team right now, go over there.
Right.
All right, go ahead. And like more or less got them up out of it. That's what you're saying?
Pretty much. It's like, look, if you didn't have a hard life, you're not going to be here. I need struggle and
strife.
Right. I need you.
So basically, if you ain't have a cut right there, you ain't going to make the team.
Right. If you ain't got locks, if you ain't have a hard time.
That's so funny that y'all said that because I went to Robert Morris last night to see the boy play, and he's still, I'm not going to say inactive, but he's on the roster. He just didn't dress last night. Okay. And my 2 kids, mind you, I got 2 kids still at home. They're under the age of 16. Yeah. And they're more or less like, you got to have locks to compete in this game. And I'm thinking to myself, like, is that true? Like, it's because back in our day, it was like 2 people, Ricky Williams and Edrin James, that had them dreadlocks.
Right.
Now, granted, them brothers looked like they had a hard life and they both spit tobacco on a regular spit without chewing. Like is that tobacco? Nah, it's just spit. But nowadays, I see it a lot more often. And I'm not going to say I agree with them, but I'm like, damn, that's some stereotypical shit to say. But is there truth in that?
I mean, I don't know if it's truth, but I mean,
is them ones with the locks out there snapping?
The cats with the locks seem like they doing them a lot of damage out here.
Yeah. So it's like Samson. It's in them locks. Then.
Right. Mm-hmm. Locks in the gold teeth and the despair.
What like as far as the program itself, Colorado.
Right.
Do you feel like Dion has accented to making that program better?
Of course.
Yeah. Definitely.
Like coming out 2-0, like, and yesterday they played Nebraska.
Right, that's their rival.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong. They got a kid on that team that plays both ways. He plays on offense. He's a receiver.
Hunter, he's a
DB.
Yeah, he's a starting quarterback. And it's wild. It ain't like he's like the starting quarterback and then like got like a little package here on offense. He plays the whole game, both sides.
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
How many players do y'all remember doing that?
None like that.
No. I don't remember any.
No.
That played both sides of the ball.
And snap. And make it different.
Like, because I remember Dion played both sides every once in a while when he was with a couple teams.
Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys, and I think he played a little bit in San Fran, but it was only like 3 or 4, 5 or 6 plays a game.
Correct.
They had like a little package where they threw Dion out there.
Couple jet sweeps, couple passes.
Right.
Now, let me ask you this. If you get drafted playing both sides of the ball, do you get a bigger bag?
I'm thinking like by the time he gets to the league, he'll have to choose. I don't know if the NFL is going.
What if he's super nice at both? Because they said that if he would have caught one big pass last year, that Heisman Trophy would have been sitting on his desk. Dion said this out of his mouth.
He's working.
It was like
a
deep bomb he could have caught, and if he'd have caught that, he'd have had that Heisman Trophy on his dresser, right?
I don't know. What do you think? You think they'll let him do that in the league? Because I don't know. It's different.
If so, it'd be the first time in history I've ever seen it. I've ever seen it. Not saying it's never happened.
Right. Because like the more you play, the more chances you have to get injured. And if you get money,
I agree.
Especially if he gets a second contract, they ain't gonna fly. That ain't gonna fly. If you're getting 70, 80 million.
But is he going to be the one the first one to do it?
He might
come in the league, getting drafted, making.
I would definitely have like a little package for like what I mean I definitely throw him out there every once in a while. I don't know if I would if I was a coach. I don't know if I would play him all the time. Depending on what he's better at.
Being non-biased. And I gotta ask you this, Wax, and then dude, you can piggyback off his answers or create something different yourself. Where do you see him getting drafted to if he's a multi-purpose player like that? Being non-biased.
Being non-biased, probably 2 or 3.
No. What team?
Oh,
I don't know. It depends on where he goes.
Who could utilize him the best?
everybody. But like he's probably gonna go. No, I was gonna say the Lions, but
Okay.
they're switching.
Let me bring some names back to you.
Whoever's
Randall,
like trash.
Antoine Randall, Hines Ward, the little short guy from Georgia.
Yeah.
You saying
Beast.
the Steelers, huh?
I mean, I'm trying to be non-biased, but at the same time, I want it to make sense. How these young people say, make it make sense.
Right. Well, we're the way he's looking, you're gonna have to be pretty bad.
Yeah.
To get him.
He's going like to the worst teams and get the first picks. But like hopefully it ain't us, but I would love to have him.
Real
you
shit.
know what I mean? But I mean I would rather probably lose and be trash than to go like 500 and be in the middle.
Me too.
Right.
And for those of y'all that's thinking out there, I forgot to mention Slash too.
Right.
Yeah.
We take a player who we know that can utilize both, their full football sense. Like I said, a coach's job is to put the player in a place to make the best decision.
But that was pretty much Cowher. Tomlin hasn't really done that though.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask y'all this though. Where do you think he would rather play? Like on offense or defense?
I mean,
For,
from
like,
from
the
what I've
longevity.
seen from that kid, he's a hell of a defender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the boy got hands like he got mittens.
It all depends on
He
who.
can catch.
Honestly, it depends on what makes the most money. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
And when it comes to him, I don't know. Probably wide receiver. Wide receivers probably make more than DBs. But I don't know. I can look it up real quick.
Probably because like it's rare that you have a DB be like the face of the NFL.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
It's
agree.
always going to be somebody who gets the shine from catching touchdowns or throwing them.
Right. 'cause
brings
it's an
the
offensive
audience.
league.
It is.
But,
it's
like,
always offensive minded.
If I was him, I'd probably be a DB because they probably last just as long as receivers.
They do.
And he turns into a receiver whenever he catches a pick. Anyway,
I was thinking that, but then you have rare cases.
which
Like the boy from New York, from Buffalo. The boy that passed out on the field.
oh yeah, he was from Pittsburgh too.
Yeah.
Didn't he go to?
I say Erie or something like that.
I mean, like he played for Pittsburgh, is what I mean.
What, Pitt? No, the boy that played for Buffalo, the young boy.
I know.
Passed
but
out with the heart condition.
I think he played with
Hamlin.
Hamlin.
Yep.
Did he play with
Yep.
Pitt though? Like
I think
Yeah,
he
he was
did.
with Pitt.
I think
Yeah.
he did. I think he did. But there's, like I said, there's rare cases, but it happens. And I know he wasn't a DB, but look at the boy. The hell was his name?
Yeah,
Shazier.
receivers make a little bit more than DBs.
Right. Shazier, even though he wasn't a DB, he was a defensive player. Like you look at defense and say all you have to do is land a hit.
yeah,
But then you look at offensive players like Antonio Brown, who's now coming out, that I read in a magazine the other day. Look at me lying. I read it on the internet magazine. Like I was sitting up there like, yeah, let me get 2 vibes
In a King magazine.
right, in a package of beef jerky. But
and some winter fresh.
oh, you got to get the winter fresh to make sure that the fresh mouth. You got to have a fresh mouth. For those of y'all that got yuck mouth nowadays, shame on you. Get you some damn gum before I bring Uncle Billy Jack back. But they said the boy Brown. I seen it in it was on one of those articles on the internet. He said that his CTE has kicked in so bad that that's why he's been making a spectacle out of himself.
Yeah.
And nobody has empathy to, excuse the bullshit, I guess. Almost like saying, fuck off, kiss my ass, and go to hell, but then saying, with all due respect.
Right.
So, like, as far as Antonio Brown's concerned, he's pissed a lot of people off in the process of doing so. But now he's saying that it's his CTE that's, the cause of it.
Right.
I got 2 kids that play football right now. And, like, to be honest, I wouldn't be pissed off if they said, I don't want to do it anymore. Right. If it preserves their mental capacity to be able to applicate themselves in the world.
Right.
Like, why would I want to do that to them? Just because I want them to, live this reality of having the world that they want and the life that they want. If they say, Dad, I want to play basketball, I don't want to play anything. We gonna do something.
Right.
You gonna work.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm not gonna force them to play when I know that could be a reality.
Yeah, CTE is a scary thing. My fault, Wax. Go ahead.
No, I was just totally agreeing. I was about to say, and like even if it's not as serious as CTE, still be hobbling around here all broke up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Popping Vicodins like they're vitamins.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like I wish more kids would keep playing baseball, man.
Do y'all remember how hot baseball was back in the day? We all grew up by, I know I grew up by Motrips, and y'all grew up by 11th high school.
Right.
It's a stone's throw away for y'all.
Yeah.
So I know baseball was a big element in our childhood.
Yeah.
You know, we played pickup games of baseball down Motrips and, all throughout the neighborhood because we had 2 or 3 fields.
But it's just baseball's not. I mean, they get paid the most, but
It's
baseball's
not a climactic sport.
It's not cool. For the, it's like when
Doesn't have a climax.
It boils down to kids not wanting to play it. It's not cool. You ain't getting no, excuse the term, but you ain't getting no bitches playing baseball until you get old. Now, when you get older and you're making money playing it, you can get in whoever you want because you got money. But if you ain't no girls coming to the baseball games, you ain't getting no chicks at the baseball games.
Right.
I beg to differ. I played baseball.
I mean, this is the 90s.
Yeah,
I'm talking about 2023.
Right, I hear you.
Let him finish.
Go ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. I was about to
Because
say.
I'm about to expound with him.
Women love baseball too, even though.
You damn right.
Right.
Y'all full of shit.
When you go
it's
down
the
to
truth.
Arizona,
It's the truth.
them baseball wives is bad as hell. I got a friend of mine
Baseball
from Elwood
wives,
City.
they're wives. I'm
Listen,
talking about in high school. You can get more girls playing basketball and football than
Facts.
Oh, you're saying high school.
You can
I'm
get
talking
more
about kids.
girls. You can get more girls, but there are girls that love
changes
baseball
everything.
too.
I'm saying that's why the kids don't.
Yeah.
The kids don't play it like they
I
used to.
agree that you're saying that they don't play it because it's not as cool as football or basketball. But I mean, like,
Doesn't give you the public notoriety.
No,
Right. But
I'm
they-
saying if you can get girls, you can just get girls. It's,
Yeah.
Baseball, it don't matter.
And
But,
the RBI doesn't equate to a slam dunk or a touchdown.
Exactly.
It just doesn't. You don't hear somebody being like,
you
ooh.
can have 10 hits in a row and you might go home by yourself, but you get a nice run
or a dunk.
or a dunk.
Yeah,
and
I'm
somebody
talking
Somebody's
about
banged
something
up.
crazy. Like,
Right.
yeah.
You can slide into whoever's DMs you want to that night.
Hell yeah.
I feel you. I just disagree with that. No girls like baseball.
Well, he
I'm
wasn't
just saying
speaking on that level. He
Right.
was speaking on not the
Right.
collegiate level, but the
Yeah, I'm talking
major
about
leagues and
No,
stuff.
no, I got you.
once you get up to that, you got some money and you might make yourself. Women like
money.
success.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
should have named this show 2 Libras and a Cancer because I'm gonna bounce back and forth. Because as soon as this, go ahead, Wayne.
No, I'm sorry. I was just.
As soon as he
mumbling.
start talking that shit about them dunks, immediately went to DNG. Immediately. After a basketball game and or football, being a winning scorer, shooting a winning shot, scoring a winning touchdown, after you clean up, hit the block and go down to DNG's for 4 slices and a grape. Welch's, of course.
Piping hot.
I'm talking about the type of pizza that'll have you like, A, you're so hungry and greedy because you ain't eat all day. B, because you got the jitters from the game, you know what I mean? So you want, I'll eat when I get, the
Right.
stomach just growling the whole game. You get that box. And now, my memory of Beaver Falls and basketball, always wintertime, always cold outside. You flip that doggone box open and the steam piping out that box. You can't even enjoy it the first piece because that shit is so hot, and you gotta
And it's gonna
you gotta blow it.
the roof of your mouth. Like
It fucks up the other 3 pieces because you can't wait being greedy.
But
And then you always got that one girl behind you like watching you like that's what your ass get being greedy. Like so what, I'm hungry.
Listen, D&G's used to be the spot, man. And I remember I thought that's where we were gonna hang out when we got older. You know what I mean? Like after the basketball games, everybody would go. I just swore that's where like.
Where was it at? Because I mean y'all know I got ripped off to the castle. Shout out to the
McDonald's.
castle.
Yeah, it just went right across the street,
Yeah.
down the block a little bit.
Yeah,
McDonald's.
Them Italians wasn't having it. They was like, you get in front of my store. You're stinking. You're not buying. They wasn't having that shit. Because I know as a kid, man, watching them games and shit, and them walking over there with our leather jackets on and our boots. Shit, man, you couldn't tell me a motherfucking thing, boy.
They used to come rescue me because I wasn't allowed. You remember that?
Yeah,
I wasn't
man.
allowed to do that by myself like back in the day. until Phil came over. Then I was allowed to go hang out with like the cool,
charming everybody.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Little did they know we was up to no damn good up there.
Phil used to spring me, man. Like, pause. That sounded crazy as hell, but
hey, yo,
he used to come get me though.
Listen, y'all know we grew up in that era. For those of y'all that don't know, the pause game is crazy because we grew up in an era where we mean what the fuck we say. So how you say it ain't like we saying it gay. Y'all's minds processing it. Y'all got a gay processor. Like it goes in straight, but then somewhere in that damn mixed up bag, now we gotta make up excuses for the words we say. I ain't doing all that shit. Just listen with the intent on getting the picture. Right. You dig? But yeah, bro, I remember that, man. It was cold-blooded, man. It was cold-blooded. But then again, back over to him. I can also remember being an avid baseball player, dude.
Right.
I remember playing baseball, and it was the satisfaction of the competition. At the highest level.
That's cool.
You dig what I'm saying? But there was no accolades that came with it. There was no,
no one comes to the games
at all,
other than parents.
And then it's the driest shit ever.
And it's hot as hell.
It's like turkey all day, like just shavings of turkey. Now, for those that love turkey, I'm not disrespecting it, but there's no frills with turkey.
Right.
It's just turkey. That's why you gotta add the stuffing, the cranberry sauce. You know what I mean? You gotta have them sides, that hot, bubbling hot macaroni and chives.
But then once you get up to the top, it turns into steak
and
shrimp. But it's a lot of turkey.
You're getting paid
it's a lot of turkey you got to eat to get to that steak.
Oh yeah.
You ain't lying though. It wasn't as cool. It was not as cool, man.
But $500 million, and at the end of your career, the only thing you have to worry about is having tennis elbow.
Right. They got a dude now. You ever hear Atani?
Yeah.
This dude, he's a monster, man. He's speaking of Travis Hunter, like to go both ways. This dude, he pitches. He's the ace pitcher, and he's the best hitter on the team.
No shit.
Yeah.
And he can go to the like All-Star game on either one.
That's crazy. Now that's crazy.
That's nuts.
And in baseball, I'm not going to say it's strategic, but you have to have fantastic hand-eye coordination to even be able to be mentioned in that conversation.
Because if you think, like, if you hit 25, that's not that bad. Or if you hit 30, that's not that bad, but that's really 3 out of 10.
Right.
You know what I mean?
As far as an average.
Right. Which is terrible if you think about it. If you score 30 out of 10 on the test, you failed.
You failed it.
But but if you're hitting 30 out of 10, 3 out of 10 on the diamond, like, you're nice. That's how hard baseball's a hard sport, man.
Right. Now let me ask you this. As far as a sport that you would want to, let's say, retire from and get the money from it, would it be baseball, football, or basketball?
Baseball.
I was going to bring up the Barry Bonds thing.
I would say basketball.
I don't know, dude, because Allen Iverson got a fantastic deal. The way he set his contract up to get his residuals.
Right.
What about Bobby Bonilla Day? Not Barry Bonds, but Bobby Bonilla.
Right.
It's on my birthday.
Think about it.
He gets paid for nothing.
$1 million a damn year? One time a year?
It's a couple million, isn't it? It's a couple.
Is it 2?
Yeah,
I thought it was 1 million.
I forget, but it's something decent.
Now let me ask you this.
Out for him, man.
And that was what, 30 years?
At least.
So let me ask you this.
But even still,
You want to talk about the turnaround? Okay, you could piss off that $1 million in 2022. That's all gone. You got $23,000 left.
right.
The very next July, we're gonna get the party started back again. Just because of that,
But everybody don't got that. It is only 1 point. It's 1 point.
It's almost,
pretty much 1.2 million.
I was gonna say, yeah.
But even still, that's
101,000, 100. What is it? Almost 100.
1,200,000. Right. I mean, you still got to pay taxes on that. So he's probably getting
800,000.
Right.
Because the one that's gone. The 1.2 that's trickled down. But he's probably getting like 890 on there. 890,000
for doing nothing.
For being older.
Absolutely
that's
nothing.
Dope. But I would still rather probably be a basketball.
That's because you want them accolades.
I do.
That's all.
I need that. If I'm doing all of that,
You want to have a crooked finger like Michael Jordan's is on that damn last
He
damn.
hobbling around.
Hell yeah. Did you see Mike's finger on that one? I'm like, what the fuck did they do to Mike's finger? I don't think that was from basketball, though. Yeah. I think they was like, hey, Mikey. Yes. Remember that? Nah.
The way his eyes was on red.
I was like, Mike smoked a joint and some angel dust.
I'm thinking, like, Mike, you got jaundice. Like,
no, them shits was red.
That was yellow.
Them was angel dust eyes.
Them shits was yellow. I'm like, this nigga had yellow eyes.
Understand this. I may not have experimented with the world's fantastic drugs and all of this shit. I know the looks of whoever's on what. You got bad teeth. You've been smoking cigarettes and rocks. You got shark teeth. That's meth. Dave Chappelle said that. Mm-hmm. He said when he shot that shotgun, he said, I didn't know. I didn't look at her teeth. Because if I'd have looked at his teeth, I would have known, that's meth. So you can identify right there. Them eyes is baby red. Them is yellow. It's
a little bit of, it's orange. There's a little bit of both.
I got a Jamaican uncle and his eyes look purple at
times. We'll just agree that it's a little bit of both.
Them is angel dust eyes. Mike, I don't know if it's from the crying, them crying eyes he had all the time.
So it wasn't the shoes, it was the
angel. No, them was angel dust eyes right there. Them beat red eyes.
That's what made Mike so nice on the court.
Mike's eyes, no, I ain't gonna see. Here you go. The angel dust. Let me quit. Michael Jordan wasn't doing angel dust.
He was on that Colombian.
With that Colombian Bam Bam.
He was getting wet.
I didn't know you liked to get wet.
Right. That's Sherm.
Sherman Hemsley.
That's Sherman. Everybody was on them Sherman Hemsley sticks.
That boy was like, Mike, why is these cigarettes wet?
He like, I don't know. I got to win.
Listen, I feel you on that as far as the hoops, but I'm going to roll with this cat.
You going baseball?
I'm going baseball, man. I want that residual earnings, man. I want that money
everybody
now.
Don't got that to Bobby Bonilla. That's only Bobby Bonilla.
What about the contracts, dude?
I mean, they are nice.
Them contracts are quarterback and receiver contracts. And you don't have to do any of that shit.
You could be a bum in basketball and get, or in both of them, too.
Yeah. Okay. But see, like, this is the thing for me is, like, I don't want to be LeBron or Kobe famous. I want to be half a billionaire just sliding in and out getting something to eat and being a star, but nobody
dressing like Adam Sandler, regular cat.
Man,
now here's my thing, dude.
Give me the hoes, the money, and the drugs.
You got Paul. What's his name? Paul George snapped his ankle in half. Zach Williamson.
Who?
Or Zion. Excuse me. I said Zach from Saved by the Bell. He was like, they had a baby. But Zion Williamson, with his little thing when he tore his shoe and he messed his foot up. Basketball does have catastrophic shit happen. When Paul George snapped his leg in half, sliding into that damn hoop, that was one of the most grotesque things I've ever seen. And you'll have a lot of that in basketball.
Right.
Football. Did you ever see O.J. Simpson walk before any of the Nicole allegations on what he did? When people loved O.J. Right. That slow and somber walk that he had, that wasn't from riding horses.
Don't get me on OJ.
That
you already know how I feel.
What?
He didn't do it, but let's move forward.
Well, the only reason why is because you still got an OJ poster posted up in your room and shit.
It's him hugging Nicole.
See, here you go, man.
Shit.
You're a vampire when it comes to shit like this.
I ain't gonna kill her, but somebody.
See, here you go.
Somebody might. But
But nah, man. Did you see his walk? Okay, there was a movie that I enjoyed back in the day. It had Leslie Nielsen in it.
Naked Gun.
Boom.
Yeah.
Well, he was in one of the installments of that show.
2 of them.
He was in 2? Did you see that walk he had, man? It was that little.
I'm hurt. For the rest of my life, walk.
Right.
Like,
So, and just imagine what they was making back then. He was lucky to make $1 million.
Right.
He came in the league before Herschel Walker and the boy from Tony Dorsett. For those of y'all that got some color, Tony Dorsett.
Dorsett.
But we gonna go ahead and call him Tony Dorsett, just for arguing purposes, like Detroit instead of Detroit. But he was one of the first people to get the $1 million contract. Tony was,
right.
And then Herschel got 5 right after that. OJ was before that. So just imagine the fractions of money he was getting to bruise and abuse his body. CTE was probably still floating around. They called it something different or didn't know it at the time because they wore them leather helmets.
He's just punch drunk. He's punch drunk.
It was football.
Yeah.
So, you got football. That's out. Basketball, my ankle might snap in half. Have you ever seen, Nolan Ryan is still picking and throwing his grandkids up in the air. Randy Johnson, big unit, is 6'11", and he's still walking around doing the fucking butterfly, wilding out. All because he has those baseball knees. He's good to go. And his bank account is chubby. Think about it. The big unit and Nolan Ryan, they both played deep into their 40s.
Yeah, I know.
From their 20s and 18 adolescent years.
Right.
That's damn near 30 years worth of baseball. Collecting a check every year. And then after this, okay, Mr. Ryan, we're going to make sure you're taken care of because you dedicated over half of your life to this sport.
Yeah.
I'm going with this cat.
Fuck that. Give me hoops. I'll be on Inside the NBA.
Talking shit with Chris Webber.
Shit with Ahmad Rashad. I'll bring Ahmad Rashad back up.
You better not have
inside stuff. I'll bring inside stuff back.
You better not have Kevin Garnett reading nothing
all
up there. The equivalency.
Him and Paul Pierce.
Yeah, Paul Pierce
is wilding out. Yeah.
The NBA, man. The NBA, I feel like.
It looks fun to be in the NBA.
It does, but it looks like it comes with some shit.
So what? I'm willing to.
It looks like you got that badass chick over there, but she got 4 damn kids with 5 different baby daddies. Like, how's that happen?
Right.
Well, 2 of them didn't know if they was little LJ's dad, but we didn't tell them, so they both think it. Right. And LJ's named after her dad's dad, so like.
Give me the hoops.
Bro, I'm sliding.
I just say that because I never dunked and I always wanted to dunk. So like I'm just like I want to dunk, so I'll take that.
I got you.
Just to dunk one good time on it.
I'm not even gonna piss on your dreams, man. You can have that shit, but I want that MLB money. I'll take that 180 something games.
Ain't too much smaller than MLB money these days.
The only thing I can say is you got less games in the NBA. It's a lot more games than football, but a lot less than baseball.
Right.
About 100 less.
Half. No, about half. They play 160.
And baseball is 190. No, I thought it was 196.
162, and then basketball's basketball's 82. But it is what it is.
Right. Yeah. So I was looking on the.
But before I cut you, I didn't mean to cut you off, man. But just want to keep reminding people to hit that like button.
Oh
man.
yeah.
Hit that subscribe.
I was about to say, what about the subscribe button? Yeah. That way you'll know when we're dropping new content.
Hit that bell.
But I was gonna get into some of the music industry shit that I was trying to get everybody caught up on. Did you hear that P. Diddy was giving all of his artists their masters back?
Yeah, that's dope.
Let me ask you this, Wax. For real, it's 2023. Mm-hmm. Does anybody want to hear?
Get that money.
Yeah.
Get that money. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence on it. Like he already got all the money out of them shits.
Yes.
And I think they're already about to get them back anyway. After like 30 years, you get your shit back.
So is he actually doing them a favor?
I mean,
or is he trying to keep his name relevant?
That's what I think.
Like, let me look like I'm doing something. Like, if he wanted to do that, he'd give him a little $1 million kiss on there with like a little $1 million in there. Like, here.
Right.
Inconvenience. Get your life back together.
Come do another album with me or something.
Right. Let's take this show on the road. If I'm giving you your masters back, now you know that I was, whatever you thought I was. Now I'm trying to change.
Right. Let's do a Bad Boy reunion tour.
Right.
And he might, you know what I'm saying? He might. Like I said, he got an album coming out, which who the hell asked for that shit?
Not to mention who's waiting in line for that bitch.
Nobody.
You gonna be waking up like how we used to do go up to that
Music
video.
Express.
The video game joint on Tuesdays and shit when the new game drops.
Oh yeah.
Anybody waiting till 12 o'clock at night to go up there and be like, yeah, I want that new Losing Sleep. Yeah, give me 2 of those new P. Diddy's. I want a CD and a tape.
Nobody.
And that's
like nobody ever.
And this is why I know it's like a publicity stunt, because if he was really, if he really cared about his artists, he would have gave it back
years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Would have never put Mace through that. Would have never put the Locks through that. So
Right.
I kind of agree with that. I think it's a publicity stunt, just to keep his name popping and shit. Because like he knows he squeezed the juice out of those records.
Right.
Nobody wants to hear 702 jumping back with a reunion, and them girls could sing back in the day.
Right.
It just sucks that like the industry is designed to take the artists, strip them down to nothing before they give their life's worth back to them.
And it especially sucks when your own does that to you. It's like, you're supposed to be better than that, but you learn from them and then you just do the same shit that they've been doing.
Right. Personally, I think that, Diddy could step up a little bit as far as, what he's done or how he's moving forward as far as his artist. Now, I know what he's thinking. I'm a millionaire. I didn't need you to make this money. And I agree. But then along the way, he's made a lot of conditions and situations for people unbearable. I watched an interview a couple of years ago with the boy Fred off of Making a Band.
Right.
And he didn't have a lot of things to say as far as negative or positive about the experience. He just looked like in a situation to where he made Diddy all that money for Making a Band. Mm-hmm. Diddy could have been like, yo, I see you fell on hard times. Let me get you back, in the studio, get you back working out something. Right. He has the means to do that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He has the...
Does he have the... He has the means, but does he have the obligation to do it? You think are you obligated to? I don't know. I mean, like, you could be a good person and
but
just
doesn't that go both ways?
But he's not obligated.
Doesn't that say, okay, if I'm going to put the money up again, I'm going to get return back on my investment? If I made money off you the first time, I can do it again.
Maybe.
For sure.
Maybe.
You just need the right approach. Look at Ness. Ness is still out there in the music world, and he's still making fire music. So do a collaboration with him and Fred. I'm sure that the world would like to see them again.
Those are the two dope ones anyway.
Right. Chop, if he's still somewhere out there, bring Dylon back. Dylon. Well, you got to bring him without the other Dylons.
Don't bring Dylon back.
I'm just saying, man, just for the nostalgic purpose of the whole band being incorporated again. All those old acts that we stayed at, like me and my girl, when we first hooked up, it wasn't Netflix and chill. We went over to I went over to her crib watching Making a Band.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them were our Netflix and chill. That real TV. So, like, why not reconnect with the audience that gave you the viewing, you know what I mean? Like, our viewing eyes and our ears.
Like, go back and do it and try something else. Cause, like,
correct.
Because when you think about it, like, them damn Jersey Shore goofballs are still making money. They're still doing Jersey Shores. People still watching that shit. So
one thing about it, notoriety never dies. Right. Nobody ever gets sick of seeing somebody that they grew up seeing on the TV screen. Like us, if we ran into, we'll say, who's still alive that's older, like Isaac from the Love Boat. It's not gonna be no bullshit. It's, oh shit, that's Isaac. Right. Hey, get your ass over here with that mustache and take a picture with us. Like, it's not gonna be just some random ass guy.
Isaac's probably dead. We might be like, oh shit, it's Isaac.
The bones of Isaac. All you gonna do is see a bunch of bones in this thick ass mustache.
Like, oh shit, that's Isaac.
Or a tattoo, little ass tattoo and shit. Right. Like his little ass, like he could be in drunk right now if he's still alive. Somewhere, you know what I mean, drunk in a drunken haze.
If Isaac is still alive, I'm sorry if I just killed you, but
Isaac's like, God damn it, I live in Virginia now. Right. I live a quiet life. Right. I'm a minister now.
I cut my beard. I cut my mustache off.
He just got like a soul patch right there. Right. Isaac with the soul patch.
I cut my mustache off for Jesus.
But nah, man, that's what I'm saying. If Diddy wanted to really turn a coin and do something for his artists, put him back in the public eye. Right. Yeah, that never hurt anybody.
Right.
The exposure would be good for everybody participating in that endeavor. It'd be good on P. Diddy's end because he's putting the money up that he already has. It'd be good on the artists because now they're getting back their notoriety of being who they once were.
Yeah. I was about to say, plus he can do it. He can put them in a position to win.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like Dude said also, is he obligated to do that?
That's a good question.
So, I mean, like, it's because at the end of the day, it's a business, but, like, don't kick that family shit if you don't mean it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
that's a good point.
We're family, and you're just milking me for all the cash you can get out of me.
And then once all that's gone, we're no longer fans.
Right. It throws you to the wolves and shit.
Because you guys gotta think, like, there's a bunch of artists that came, you know, from Bad Boy, like G Dep and
Loon.
like,
Yeah.
what are they doing now?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Lil Kim.
Shit, speaking of Little Kim, how do y'all feel about female rappers in its entirety?
That's a good question, man.
In its entirety. I'll go from Shantae,
I was gonna say
Roxanne Shantae.
it's running hip hop right now.
You feel like that?
Yeah, I do. I don't have like the statistics to prove that, but like that's what's moving hip hop along, and it's like the first time in history that women rap is actually
Keeping it going.
and taking off.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's like it's charted area, but at the same time, we haven't fully gotten off the boat to make sure that all of these places around here aren't occupied already. You know how there's uncharted area. Oh, we claim this to be our own. That could be areas that it was already populated, but now you get to see it actually at its full peak.
Right.
You know?
Mean, I just think it needs more. Just the hip hop game in general, but especially the women, they need more diversity as far as what they talk about, because they just talk about the same shit. I don't want
Is
to
it
hear
what
this.
we talk about?
No, I don't talk about.
No, not us as a selective crew or a selective audience. I'm saying the hip hop world. Is
Yeah,
it what the males talk about?
but they talk about a little bit different. But it's like they don't talk about. I don't know. It's just weird to me because all they talk about is their pussy.
Yeah.
Like, all right, you got good
I mean,
pussy.
that's not a bad topic.
I mean, at the
I'm
same time,
interested.
who wants
You
to
had
fucking
me
listen to that shit all
You
the
had
time?
me at
There's so
the
much-
opening statement. I'm like,
There's so much more shit to talk about, though.
I get it, but at the same time, once you bring that up, I don't want to hear nothing else. You have my full attention at that. Now I'm up here like,
I'm different, man.
I need something else.
Yeah,
Like,
I need substance.
I can look at.
I agree.
I can go watch Pornhub if I need to see some pussy
listen,
and shit.
I agree, but I'm not going to turn it off if they start showing it like,
They ain't showing it. They just talking about it.
Hey,
I'll watch
okay.
the video, but I can watch the video
listen,
with
I'm
the sound
nosy as
off.
hell when it comes to that topic. I'm sorry. I'm nosy.
I watch the video with the sound off. I don't need to hear none
I'm
of that
not,
shit.
listen, I like to hear it. I'm a trash talk. I'm trashy.
That shit
It's
gets
all
old.
right sometimes, but like when the whole song revolves around your pussy, like, you know, it kind of gets boring. It's repetitive and boring. Like,
And then the whole song, and then every song, not just that song. It's like every goddamn song. Like, what happened to where's the Lauryn Hills at? Where's the, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay,
the
I just went
motherfuckers
full
that got
on
some
mad.
skills.
I went full on mad dog. I was still stuck in the whole pussy talk. I'm sorry, because like when y'all said it was like, ussy. Like I drift. I'm like, I'm in the land of like, like I went there real quick. So as y'all was talking about how unhappy y'all was with it, I was still stuck in Lando P.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, this ain't a bad spot.
But like, I don't really listen to women rap that much anyway, because it's
It's
always
hard
the
to
same shit.
do that because it's unappealing to us because we don't understand the aspect of how they're saying it. We don't relate to that aspect.
I can relate to
Nah,
pussy
I
being
can.
good.
I
Like,
can
that's-
as well, but like I don't have one, so I don't know.
But after I've related to it, I don't want to keep hearing about the shit. Like, I've already had relations with you in my brain. Go over there and tell me something that I didn't know before.
Y'all hear this, ladies? He's that don't touch me after sex.
No,
type.
I'm just saying.
He basically said, like, I like what you brought, but go make me a sandwich
No,
right
I
now.
didn't say that. I said, let's have a good conversation after that.
Ooh,
He
way
said,
to
make me a
flip that.
sandwich.
Way to flip
Make me a sandwich and fetch me my slippers.
Yeah, right.
in my smoking pipe.
And he's sitting over here dripping wet.
Now,
Nah. My bad. I was about to say, they're running the game right now, but like, give me something better than just vagina, ladies.
I
That's
mean,
all
there's
I'm asking.
now for me. I'm sorry, this is gonna sound crazy, but there's not too much better than that. Not even the good Mary Jane herself. That it's like they're a toss up. Like I like them both together.
do you think like they have an influence on what the young girls
They
are
definitely
doing with
do.
themselves?
So what I would want to have is like how now.
That's why I said there needs to be like some diversity.
And
like, I'm not
agree.
saying cut it all out, but I'm saying like
Don't be dapping up in front of me.
I'm
I'm
dapping.
speaking selfishly.
I'm dapping.
give the young ladies a little
A
something.
chance. I get it.
Right.
But I'm speaking on behalf of a nasty middle-aged man that
I
was
can
like,
dig
oh
it.
shit.
I can dig it. You know what the females
Caught me by
need
chance.
is a female Snoop Dogg. Like, I mean, just a smoker, not like that looks or, you know.
I was about to say, that shit would be that appeal. Like, come on, bitches, y'all ready to smoke this weed?
Yeah.
I thought she talking about a big ass tall girl with like
female smoker. They need a weed smoker. Cause
I mean, I get it,
all
but
girls
like,
aren't whores or Instagram models or, you know,
I agree
twerkers.
with that. You know, we all have daughters here. So, like, we understand that concept. But I'm not speaking from a father's point of view.
No, me neither.
I'm speaking of the guy that got with y'all's mama. I'm speaking on his behalf.
Right.
Before y'all even got here. Like, I didn't even know y'all was coming. Who are they? Them is baby's kids. Nah.
I just think that, like I said, there needs to be some Lauryn Hills, and I know there's some chicks out there that got some bars.
Yeah.
Right.
That ain't talking about the same shit.
I mean, without joking and going there, I feel you on that because the elements is important.
Because hip hop is it's the most influential genre of music there is. Like you can change the world with the shit or destroy it. It seems like.
Right.
And
speaking of which,
good question.
Speaking of which, I love the internet because you find all your sources of entertainment and news on there. And they was talking about cats from Chicago and New York drill scene.
Yeah.
They were more or less posing a peace movement. Peace. They were pushing that narrative.
Yeah.
And I'm with it.
Yeah, me too, man.
I'm with it, man. I got kids that are in that age bracket that they listen to every entertainer that's out there.
So why ain't you snapping now? Like,
well, it ain't about that. I just was on one of my favorite topics and I got lost in the sauce. I went completely dumb. I was like,
he's like, vagina.
Like I started hearing it get like a kid and shit. Like he said, but
nah, but I feel you though. Like,
but you're not necessarily getting killed off of them expressing their body parts, opposed to the influential music that is displaying the violence. In a way, I get it. As far as territorial punani and whatnot, it has a lot to do with.
I mean, if they're going out and ruining their own body, that's pretty much them killing themselves too.
I get that. I mean, I hear you, Sojourner Truth.
All right.
I do. I get it. I'm just up here trying to speak that black message when I'm up here thinking about butt cheeks and titties floating through and shit.
Fuck the little bitches.
He gonna get my mind. He gonna get me think about hash and eggs until now he ain't got no hash and eggs in there. Like I get it. I'm just speaking on a whole, and I ain't talking about that hole that they was talking about.
That's all they talking about.
I'm speaking about the violence movement, man. Like, that trap music, it goes too far. Because when they say violence, only begots violence, it doesn't end. There's no ending to it. You kill somebody, they gonna kill your people, back and forth it goes. Yeah. To where if there's somebody that stands up and say, hey, we're gonna switch the narrative on what we speak about, on what we rap about, on what we profess to you as accurate data of what we handle ourselves out here like, that changes these kids' mind state. Look at the entertaining hip hop we grew up on. We grew up on Big Daddy Kane, Nas, a lot of influential music that didn't have all of that. It had the repercussions of what could happen, but it didn't have, we're just gonna go out there and do all of this shit and nothing happens.
Right.
You understand what I mean? Like the music today, it doesn't have any repercussions on what's going to happen. It just tells you, okay, if somebody crosses your path or does something to you, do this. Right. This is what I would do. This is what I did in that scenario.
It's crazy.
Opposed to saying, if you do that, this is what's going to happen after that.
Yeah, which is crazy because, remember how, at least for me, I used to be, kind of upset that the rappers weren't living what they were doing,
right?
Fronting like they was doing all this stuff. But now I see
studio gangsters,
pretty much. But now I see I wish they would just go back to that, just front like you're a killer and a boss when you're really not, because this does have repercussions. People are losing their lives,
innocent bystanders,
and they're rapping about it, and they're really out here doing that shit, man. They're out here smoking each other for nothing and then rapping about smoking
each other.
Yeah, that's crazy to me, man.
So on the internet it had those, famous drill music, the guys that are really influential on the drill scene. Mm-hmm. They're pushing a different narrative.
I hope so.
I'm all for that. You know what I mean?
Me too.
Because if music is entertainment, who doesn't like to be entertained?
Right.
But at what expense? At you taking this serious? At you actually going out here and doing this? Because I know a lot of our music was a reflection of the time. You know, when we did a lot of the shit that we did, it was based off of what we were listening to and what we were doing at that time. So it has evolved full circle to make it more or less seem like this is what you need to be doing if you want to be considered one of these type of people. Right. And I'm not in agreement with that. I feel like, you know, you have your own decision as far as that's concerned, but music needs to only be, you know,
it just needs to be a little bit of both. Like I said, you can do whatever you want, but you got to stop pushing the bull. They got to stop pushing the bullshit on us.
Right.
And you know, I guess that's on us too. We got to stop buying the bullshit because we definitely purchased the shit.
Right.
But if it's pushed on you, you know what I mean? Like, it's easy to. They figured out how to really brainwash people. Because if you ever hear a song that you know you hate, but you done heard it 30 times.
It was lifestyle for me.
Right.
It's hit the lifestyle. I went from hating that song to being like, this shit is alright. This is the best better to get it. This is it. Yeah, man. This is the way. I'm like, this shit is catchy.
Yeah.
But that goes to prove your theory. I did not like that song. Right. I thought it was a bunch of garble. I thought it was somebody just talking with like caramel in their mouth. Like a cow or a Werther's Original, like some taffy or something. And it was stuck in their mouth and they were like, I'm like, this is some bullshit.
It's hard not to like it when they play it 30 times a day.
In a row. Mm-hmm. Like, and we have Clouds Are Made of Piss by old Staney Ranger, like, for the 35th time in a row. Like, damn.
Staney Ranger.
Like, they really make us listen to this shit like this? Repetitive, on repeat. Right. Till you fall in love with it.
And the wild part is there's a lot. I mean, there's so many niggas out there that probably do got good messages, but they just don't get the push. They don't get they don't have the machine behind them.
It's not popular to be positive.
Correct.
You know?
I feel like the executives hear that song, oh, we'll push that out in the next album. We need to get this out here now.
Kill, kill, kill.
Really?
Murder, murder, murder.
Really?
Your own people.
Right.
Because, I mean, we're only killing ourselves.
But little does anybody know that if you push that agenda all across the world for the rest of eternity, who in the world is going to buy your music? You're killing off your own audience.
Right. And you're not making anything that's going to last past that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like the old music we used to listen to, it's still around.
It stands the test of time.
Like good music, like Outkast, good music stands the test of time. But
Put your hands where my eyes can see.
Exactly.
That song will never lose its flair.
Stevie Wonder, even going out of hip hop, just like Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, all of those old songs, they still generate them people money.
Right.
But you can't listen to, like, Chief Keef ain't gonna make no money off of the shit he made last year. Like,
as a grandfather, can you see him out there performing that? That's that shit I don't like, and you know, and I no disrespect to these young cats.
I can see it now, like I could, you know, me him walking up to the mic.
But that's like getting a tattoo of some bullshit, knowing in 60 years that you're gonna be an old man and you still got that naked lady on your arm, and now your skin is saggy and you're a preacher.
That's like those strippers nowadays with like the butterfly tattoos. Wait till they're about 50.
And then butterflies get to droop and look like old Christmas presents.
They like moths.
yeah.
Like, yeah, well, I got moths under my back.
Like, is this Silence of the Lambs?
Well, honey, you think that's something? I got mothballs tatted on my ankles. And then they're real mothballs, though. They're not like the little mothballs you put in the closet. They're actually moth nuts that they got tattooed. Yeah, I'm different. I'm from Virginia. Everything's from Virginia that's different, just so everybody knows that. But nah, listen. We wanted to bring you a couple extra moments just to get you in the mind state that we thinking on, because we love our viewers. We love the fact that y'all want to tune in and see what we got to say. But we got to end it on this note. We will be back, though, Wax. Dude, next week. Next week, same time, same location, different material. Peace.
Peace. hit the like.